What's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. It has been a week since the Doctor Who 60th anniversary trailer released, and I have been saving my thoughts. Previously I have made videos about the Annie, but with it being right around the corner and a new trailer releasing, I thought it was prescient to say all once again. And I'm not alone. No, as I mentioned in my previous video, this will be a video documenting the community reaction, because it's important to save these things as a snapshot so that in the future we can come back and see what people thought about it at the time. I have my thoughts, you have your thoughts. I've seen plenty of reactions to the trailer, takes online, and I have compiled as many as I could here today. Also, before we jump in, thank you so much for the support on my latest video. I am working on a really massive project right now, as you can see from the estimated length of the video, so I hope you will look forward to that. In fact, it's because of that video that I'm making this one, to keep people tied over until the next releases, which hopefully shouldn't be too long. Also, can you believe that 92% of people watching don't subscribe? You're killing me. But first of all, I'm going to go through a bunch of your guys' thoughts in the comment section below before going into my own at the end of the video. Okay, and let's just start with the comments. Here is one from GreenGoco, who is a beloved member of the channel. Thank you so much for your support. And I'm going to mention it again at the end of the video. It will be cool to see Kate L. Stewart under a new writer / showrunner, since she was basically always part of Stephen Moffat's vision. I suppose Kate Stewart has been around for over 10 years now, and she was included in the Chibnall era, so she has already kind of spanned across that, and she has 3 episodes in the Chibnall era, and she has them spread out across 3 Doctors, soon to be 4, for 10 years, and she still hasn't had a good showing. Arguably her best episode was The Power of 3, which was written by Chris Chibnall, and even then, I don't know, it just never quite fit. How have you had over a decade to prove yourself and you still flop consistently? Most of Kate Stewart's episodes are bad, right? And they're not always bad because of her, but she's like a bad luck omen. The only episode which includes Kate Stewart where I say, wow, this was a real hit, was Day of the Doctor. So hopefully, you know, because it's an anniversary special, Kate Stewart won't drag it down. When you have other episodes throughout series 7, 8 and 9 and 13, let's be real here, that flop that also just so happened to include Kate Stewart, maybe I'm noticing a trend here. This one from another member, Teddy Bite. This guy's awesome, by the way. Overall, great trailer. Can't wait for the episodes. It kind of killed the whole while Blue Yonder is set inside the TARDIS theory. Some people, including me, thought the scene set on the spaceship were from episode 2 and it was set inside the TARDIS. However, it appears like the TARDIS has run away and they are stuck on the spaceship. Very interesting. Now, initially when I first saw the trailer, not this one, the old trailer, I kind of assumed that the spaceship would be episode 2 as well. It just kind of, you know, I guess inherently not really based on anything. But then I found out when Rusty Davies released that statement that nothing has been shown for episode 2. That, I mean, of course it can't. And so I've more so rotated back to the theory that either all of this from the trailer has been episode 1 and it's all just one episode and the other 2 have been hidden, or there's a few sneak peeks of episode 3 in there as well. I've also seen the While Blue Yonder is set inside the TARDIS theory. I don't want to completely discredit it, you know what I mean? Maybe it could be true. There's not really a lot of evidence for it, or there's also no evidence against it because it's a completely mysterious hidden episode. So I will reserve judgment for that, but yeah, it is very interesting. Actually, so pleased with this trailer, and I'm so excited for Catherine Tate and David Tennant's return. I'm also so excited to see your class review and see what you think about it. Thank you, David Tennant enthusiast, and I hope you enjoyed my class video as well. If you weren't liking this trailer, I don't know who would, so I'm glad. I still think Thursday, Friday and Saturday, the 23rd, 24th and 25th Nov would be just too perfect to miss. It would be a feast and the momentum wouldn't have a chance to dissipate. Celebration emoji. I kind of disagree. I did reply to this comment. I kind of disagree. I think that would suck, actually. I really wouldn't like it. I want there to be a week gap between episodes, right? Like, people are going to tune in, you know what I mean? Like, the momentum isn't going to dissipate. If it was one right after each other every day, dang, it would be a bit disappointing to me, not gonna lie. But as I said in the reply, as long as they don't all release on the 23rd. That is my nightmare scenario. If all of the 60th anniversary releases on the 23rd, all 3 episodes, I will cry. That was like the worst thing ever. And then of course Lee Gray replied, yeah, paced anticipation over 3 nights rather than shooting a full load all at once, so to speak. Although I feel like 3 nights is shooting a full load all at once. Is that just me? Stretching it out over 3 weeks you know, keep the hype going and then stretches into December, and then you can have the Christmas special after that. I feel like that's better, no? He then goes on to say it worked brilliantly with Children of Earth as event television. Did it though? Children of Earth is a good series, like quality wise, but if you look at the reception, like the viewer ratings, they're not like crazy high. None of the viewer ratings for Torchwood are crazy high. And it's also not Doctor Who, so I don't think this is a very good comparative point that you can just paste onto Doctor Who. But that's just my opinion though, you're always entitled to your own. It's to increase my hype levels a bit more. I'm still wary it's just going to be an RTV wankathon though, but I'm willing to give him another chance. I was never a fan of his first era or Tennant's Doctor. I was really hoping 14 would be a different to 10. Doesn't look like it so far. David is a good actor, I can't deny that, but I'm looking forward to seeing Donna return and the introduction of 15, outside of his proper debut at Christmas. Well, I kind of agree. I'm not going to say that I'm not a fan of the Russell T Davies era, but I am also still very wary that it will be Russell T Davies talking about how great Russell T Davies is. You know how it is. End of time part 3 type sugar. I too was very much hoping that 14 was going to be different to 10. Does not look like to be the case. I pretty much agree with everything here, although I think I'm a bit more cautiously optimistic. Excited for these specials at this point. Still getting a bit used to seeing David's Doctor and Donna in HD like this, but that'll probably be something I adjust to once the episode actually airs. Well, that's fair. I kind of didn't even notice. I think it's more so the age that you're noticing rather than the quality difference. But who knows? Here's another one from GreenGoco. Several points I will try to make as one single comment, so here we go. About 30 seconds into the trailer, we see a shot of Dr. 10 with his blue suit. We've been told that this new regenerator is a distinct incarnation of... I see what he's trying to say. That shot is flashback, and yes, I felt like this is intentional, that the colors are reversing. Hopefully some morality changes. I kind of doubt that. I feel like he's just going to be copy-paste of number 10. Maybe the fact that he doesn't control his own body or his mind is failing an incomplete regeneration. That would be cool. If you look at the curator and the kind of the stuff that Big Finish is trying to do in the EU, they're kind of just wanting to imply that the Doctor can just regenerate into old people, which kind of sucks, but still. Body reverted to 10 who specifically doesn't want to go but knows he must. God, I hate that I don't want to go line. I hate it so much. If this is true, and I'm not saying it isn't, but if this is true, why doesn't he revert to all of the other Doctors who didn't want to die? You know what I mean? Basically, hope the clothes speak to a new personality, either completely new or just due to circumstances. I hope so too. I'm right there with you, buddy. The slap was a bit too dramatic, a bit too overly swung. Agree with your assessment that you made. Yeah, I don't like the slap. Rewatching the trailer, it's even more played for gags than I initially thought it was. And then of course, go online and you see the fan cams, fan compilations of Jackie, Francine and now Sylvia hitting the Doctor with the Doctor companion slapping the Doctor love heart emoji. So fucking cringe. Oh my god, I hate it. And actually saw there was someone who like voiced a complaint about it and they just got dog piled on, but that was on a different website which I will not name because it is cancer. In short, I don't like the slap. The drill machine feels a bit similar to the TARDIS central piece in motion, possibly a TARDIS-like machine. I know what he means. Maybe. The trailer music is a bit too generic for this show, but it sets the tension for an epic special. Those are my thoughts, hope they aren't too much. I definitely agree with the trailer music, man. Especially after they just dropped that season 20 box set trailer, which was fire as hell and had great musical choice and was really well edited actually. I was tempted to do a reaction video to that, but decided it wasn't worth making a full video on just that one thing. And then when you go from that to this, it is just generic action movie trailer music. But that's been the case for a few years now with the Series 13 trailer, which also had very generic music. The Unit Tower basically looking like the Stark Tower. So maybe the rumors of Unit getting a spin-off show were correct after all. Crossover with Marvel? I'm about to blow your mind. So maybe the rumors of Unit getting a spin-off show were correct after all. I think Jenna Redgrave, who plays Kate Stewart, I think she already came out and said those weren't true. I really hope the Toymaker is in every special. So do I, to be honest. I mean, he could not be. There is a real chance that he isn't, which would suck. If he was only in the first one or only in the last one, goddamn. Oz Baxter, another GOAT of the channel. Love this guy. They have to tell me how Jodie regened her clothes into 14's ensemble. That's all I'm waiting on. Same. There has to be an explanation. If there isn't, we riot. And don't give me that BS behind the scenes Russell T Davies explanation. If that's all it is, I'ma be mad. Not sure about units, very conspicuous HQ lol, me neither. Definitely flashes of RTD's love of melodrama, which I have a love and hate relationship with, same. But not getting much of a sense of intimacy from these teasers, same. Compare this one with the 50th trailer, which has a much more soulful vibe and better color grading too, true. This feels like a Marvel movie, not a great thing in my book, true. I'm prejudging though. I really want to love it and think the Puppet Master villain is shaping up to be a lot of fun. Same, this guy is spitting. Literally every single thing he said so far has been facts. Weird having no companion around to compare 13 with 10. Yaz won't be present it seems, that's fine. Can't remember the last time the Doctor was alone after regenerating. It has been a long time. Ditto on the slapping thing. I find the way Russell T Davies writes middle-aged / older women really weird sometimes. True. But I'm still more intrigued by these ideas than anything I've seen from the show in a while. That is completely fair. The shot of Neil Patrick Harris bathing in those rose petals is everything, as is Donna being aware she's missing something. Let's do this. I definitely agree that the 50th trailer was infinitely better, so much cooler, and it does have better color grading. I am kind of disappointed with the visuals of this trailer. You would think that 10 years later the show would look a lot better than it did in 2013, and arguably it doesn't. Arguably it looks significantly worse than how it did in series 11, which in my opinion is still the peak for how Doctor Who has ever looked visually. And I definitely feel the Marvel vibes. We're going to be hearing that. We've already seen it in one of the previous comments. We're seeing it here. We might even see it in another one in the future. But goddamn, yes, I definitely feel it. And especially with the way the MCU has been going recently, I don't know if I like it. Rusty Davies also said he wants to make Doctor Who more like the MCU, which is I don't know about that one. When I saw this trailer and saw the Kate Stewart bit, I instantly thought of DW Fan 91 being like, oh, it's Kate Stewart, the Brigadier's granddaughter. That is definitely what I said. Made me laugh. That was a really good comment. Thank you so much for the comment, man. That's really appreciated. I hope the crowd snippet will be removed from the final cut. It's really distracting and I've heard it a billion times. Yes, you can say that again. My only critique, also don't kill Donna please, fingers crossed for regeneration energy is the saving grace. That crowd snippet is crazy. The trailer looks alright in my opinion. I personally don't like how much it feels like a generic movie / Marvel trailer, but David Tennant's performance alone makes it kind of promising. I kind of agree. It is a very generic trailer, especially when compared to the previous 50ths, which is still outstanding to this day. Adam Stewart says you should do a Toy Maker Explained video. Great idea. Another point I just thought of is that the laugh sounds very Master-esque. Don't think it is the Master, but might be in reference to him. Maybe. I don't think so. The Master was just in the last episode. And I'm holding out hope, that Sacha Dhawan will stay as the Master for Russell T Davies too. That would be the dream. Thanks for the cookie. The trailer didn't really give away anything new, so I'm kind of glad. That is true, it didn't give away anything new. The only new information was from the Doctor Who Twitter page where they said that the toy maker was confirmed. And this one is also from the Watcher of Awesome Content, who also stuck around to the end of the video to get a cookie. You hear that? That could be you. Finally, good Doctor Who. Chibnall era was so bad. Cringe. This is a funny one. Eye emoji, am gutted that this revival will crash and burn. What I needed to happen is the villain being the Hand, who became envious of the Doctor, split from Rose and wants to destroy the universe. That would be the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my whole life. The 10th companion could have been River Song. Okay, lad. She paused his regeneration to save his life. They are downloaded into new bodies escaping the library. Womp womp. After, David defeats David and imprisons him in Torchwood. I cannot watch this travesty. But you sound chuffed, so go on then. Most sane Doctor Who fan comment. This is legitimately unhinged. Every single special effect in every single Doctor Who episode sucks absolutely. I don't know why they keep trying to make it into a big American like production, complete with the most generic trailer possible. Well, that's a bit harsh. Seems to me the best the show ever was when it had the smallest budget and the most understated sci-fi elements. I mean, he's not wrong. Don't know about the smallest budget part though. I see a lot of people in the trailers comments praising this, and to those I'd like to pose this question. What episode is better? Human Nature that had very little special effects? That is not true. Or the one with the fucking sea devil? I don't know, man. That Sea Devils one is pretty good. I don't know if I would go so far to say that every special effect in every Doctor Who sucked absolutely. But you know what, fair. Giving UNIT what is basically Stark Tower is the most RTD move. Bro stole my profile picture. And also it's another Marvel reference. I did think it looked like Stark Tower as well. So this was in response to what are you most excited for in the 60th anniversary? Weirdly, Kate Stewart. Did we just see her? Yes. Am I still most excited for Kate? Yep. My question is, what has she ever done? Be in Death in Heaven? Come on, man. Honestly, the trailer makes the Toymaker seem super interesting, so I'd have to go with that. But to be honest, everything here except UNIT excites me a lot. Fair. A lot of people are excited for the Toymaker, Neil Patrick Harris. Hey look, it's Maggie. Another one of the GOATs. Another one for Neil Patrick Harris and Beep the Meat. Spoiler warning maybe? I had no idea who Neil Patrick Harris was playing. My bad. As someone who knew nothing going in, seeing Donna was the highlight because she is easily my favorite companion. Celestial Toymaker is a nice second. Love the deep cuts from the original series. Hope to see Omega or Sutek soon. Let's go! Omega's coming back one day, surely. I don't know about Sutek though. The Celestial Toymaker. It's been too long since we last saw him. Come on, buddy. We both know that you never watched that episode. I'm a little disappointed about 14, to be honest. It's giving 10th 3.0. I'd rather we didn't have to put up with 10 again and had gone straight to Shooty. No one cares about 15 when we all know who 14 is. The complete opposite opinion to the one I just showed. It seems that most audiences are receiving this incredibly positively. There's a lot of praise, a lot of excitement. I do think that a lot of that is nostalgia for 2008. A lot of people I see is, oh, it's 2008 all over again. I'm like a kid again. Yippee, yippee. And I also definitely think that the fan expectation and, you know, the definitely affect people's enjoyment of these episodes. When people go in wanting to enjoy an episode, they are going to enjoy it way more than the majority of people in, let's say, recent years who go into episodes wanting to despise it. And I think we will see that when these episodes release, that a lot of people are going to be a lot more forgiving to the inevitable flaws which every episode has, simply because they went in good faith. Mostly just hype for Donna. Donna, enough said, Donna. Do you guys think that people are excited about Donna? And that seems to be all of the comments. Now, initially I was planning on doing a breakdown of the trailer, but there isn't really a lot to break down, especially now that it's been out for a week, and I'm sure that there have been a million billion videos breaking it down and everything. There are a few hidden details that I think a few people may not have noticed. There are a few shots that I think people may have glossed over, like namely the Celestial Toymaker on the gun on the top of Unit HQ pointing it at Doctor Who. It's a bit of an odd shot, and I also do think that from the trailer you can pretty much infer the chronological order of it. If you assume that all of it is from one episode, you can get one version of the story. If you assume that it's partially from the first episode and then partially from the final episode, you can also get a small idea of what's going on. I think my expectation is that it starts with Doctor Who landing in Camden. He runs into Donna one time. He then meets this girl who he talks about, you can never remember her. Talks with Yasmin Finley, and we see this spaceship land, which should have a connection to Beep the Meep, who ends up in Donna's shed. The soldiers come around, presumably from UNIT. They have a firefight on the street with, forget the name of them, but they're the villains from the Beep the Meep comic. And I feel like from that, there's a pretty clear story, linear event. This is where it gets a bit interesting though, because we see the Doctor, of course, being taken to UNIT and encountering the Toymaker. But we also see this shot of the TARDIS being taken away. I presume that's what it is. It is definitely dematerializing. You can see it fade out of existence with Donna's family trying to get in. Presumably Donna is inside, stuck inside with David Tennant, which leads us to this spaceship, which I would guess is part of episode 1. But if this is the case, right, and all of this is happening, then they're gonna have to fit quite a lot in if this also happens in the same episode as the UNIT stuff. So I would say my working theory right now is that it all takes place in one episode. But if it doesn't, this shot of them taking the TARDIS away is at the very start of the 3rd episode, and it is right after, as you can see from the smoke, right after the fires erupt here, which would presumably be the cliffhanger for episode 1. I don't know. Just working with what they're giving me here, people. There are quite a few weird shots in the trailer, and as I've mentioned a few times throughout this video, I definitely prefer the 50th anniversary trailer. Certain special effects do look a bit dodgy. The Celestial Toymaker on the unit helipad, this plane looks not very good. I do still hope of my theory that this is all an illusion, but it's getting less and less likely. I really want to hold out hope, and I'm sure I will enjoy these episodes when they come out. I think I would have come round and would be really enjoying the celebration. But that's another aspect of it. There hasn't really been a lot of celebration in the 60th anniversary celebration. It's mostly just these episodes and Doomsday, which I was going to make a video on, and I have actually been keeping up with, but just no one cares. Like, there's no demand or interest in that topic, so why would I just waste my time? I've mentioned 10 bajillion million times that the idea of the 14th Doctor is not one I'm particularly a fan of, but to be charitable and to be incredibly hopeful, hopefully this will be kind of the end to David Tennant's kind of shadow looming over Doctor Who in terms of fandom. Hopefully people can finally let him go after this, which, I mean, maybe all it will do is increase his influence over the show, which would be a detriment. No hate to David Tennant, of course. I love David Tennant, I love all the Doctors. But it is a little unfair that he gets 2 separate incarnations all to himself, when other incarnations only get 1 episode to themselves. And I do understand the idea that it was either David Tennant comes back or there's no 60th at all, and that if David Tennant doesn't come back, Ncuti Gatwa wouldn't work if this was his first full episode. This is the way to transition into Series 14, into regular Doctor Who, is this kind of unsettling phase, and it is out of necessity, which I do understand, but at the same time doesn't mean I necessarily have to enjoy it, even if I understand why they do it. And it also lends credence to the horrific belief that, oh, Doctor Who's failing, so they bring back an old actor, blah, 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 which isn't true. That is not why they're doing it, and it is misinformation to say, oh, the BBC brought back David Tennant and Russell T Davies because the show was failing. No, the reason they brought it back is because there's no one in the BBC who wants to be Doctor Who showrunner, which means that the show would have just had to end because there would be no one to run it. And before people want to push that blame onto Chris Chibnall, this was the case with Stephen Moffat as well. Stephen Moffat was forced to stay longer than he wanted to because there was no one who wanted to become showrunner after him. And it's only because of Chris Chibnall that Doctor Who is still around today. And it is a similar situation when Russell T Davies left the first time. There were, I think, a few more candidates, whereas Chris Chibnall was the only candidate and Russell T Davies was the only candidate for both of these times. But I've heard frequent rumours and rumblings that Doctor Who would have been cancelled in 2010 if Stephen Moffat didn't accept to continue on. So this isn't really a new occurrence in terms of showrunners there not being a lot of demand. No one in the BBC wants to run Doctor Who, and that has been the case for well over 30 years at this point. So I really don't like the viewpoint, oh, they brought back Rusty Davies and David Tennant to revive interest in the show. That's not really how Doctor Who works. They are more so there because they have to be, because no one else will take the job. I would do it, people. All you need to do is just ask. But anyway, those are my thoughts. That is the community reaction. I am a tad concerned for the 60th, but at the same time, I'm sure it will be an uproarious success. And I am heavily anticipating it. It's going to be really fun. With that all being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my last video, and I hope you're looking forward to my next video. Oh boy, is it going to be a big one. Probably my biggest video yet, which says a lot. And of course, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. If you want to help support the channel, you can become a channel member by clicking the join button below. Doing this will give you access to perks and benefits such as the Discord server, special exclusive member content, polls, insight into the behind the scenes, and not to mention credit in every video. Thank you so much to all the members. You guys are the real ones. Maggie123, Abigail GP, GreenGoco, Oz Baxter, Teddy Bite, and Just Tim. With all that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.